what were the first words that came out of that prayer right after your diagnosis?
I trust you.
We spend our entire lives trying to control everything: our health, our careers, our families, our futures. We tell ourselves that if we just do everything by the book, if we eat the best organic food or follow the best exercise regimen, then we can keep the bad things away. Ez believed that too. Now, Ez is probably the most health-conscious person I know. She carefully researches supplements, incorporates the best ingredients in her family's meals, and is always up to date with the latest news on women's health. She's the type of person who stays ahead to stay in control. That is until the day she was diagnosed with breast cancer and discovered that total control is a joke. In that moment, she faced a choice: fight for control she never really had, or surrender to something bigger. I'm Aliu Garcia Pablo, and you're listening to Making Changes from INC Media Audio, a podcast about the changes we go through and the life lessons we learn along the way, but always with God by our side. A quick disclaimer. Ez's story is full of medical terms and advice she received during her battle with cancer, but it's essential to note that this isn't a medical program, and you should consult your doctor if you have any questions about your own well-being. Well, hello, Miss Ezra Lee. How are you?
Good. Ezra Lee, it's like my father calling me.
Well, that's what I want to segue into into our conversation. But I wanted to, first of all, thank you for agreeing to sit down. You know, there are lots of conversations in life that stay with you. And there was a conversation we had years ago that stayed with me. And I think, even though it's been many years, I think this is the perfect time to revisit that conversation and really talk about the amazing journey you've had and help so many people.
I hope so.
So, let's start with a regular checkup that you had, right?
Yeah.
A regular mammogram checkup that you had.
Yes. And so, I am that type of person who was very much on top of my health. I was the one doing the organic food and exercising and making sure we get the checkup. And of course, I wanted to do my mammogram, as I have done throughout the years. And it was interesting. That year, 2017, I went to a doctor that I didn't know my history. And I happened to just, okay, it's convenient, let me just do it. And so she gave me a referral to a mammogram, and I went to the imaging center. The person at the imaging center said, oh, your doctor put in an ultrasound as well. I was like, okay, no one explained to me what that ultrasound is. And all we know are mammograms.
Yeah.
And the person at the desk said, oh, you have to pay out of pocket. At that moment, I said, okay, let's just do it. So that day, I had a mammogram and ultrasound. They immediately called me and said, you need to come in for a biopsy. And of course, the process moves forward, and they find out that I have cancer. It's not the mammogram that found it.
It's the ultrasound.
It's the ultrasound. My mind was blown. I was confused. Why doesn't the mammogram find cancer? Because
And before this, you've had mammograms.
I've had mammograms.
Regularly. And there was no sign of anything.
No sign.
Do you have history in your family?
No history. I did not feel anything. I had no symptoms. So why, and I was healthy, I was feeling healthy, why all of a sudden do I have this diagnosis?
So did you think this has got to be a mistake?
This has to be a mistake.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we are in the Bay Area. Highly technical,
Yes.
very advanced. I would like to think that I know these things.
Yes.
But no one explained that mammograms cannot see cancer in dense breast tissue. And no one told me I had dense breast tissue. No one.
Which is very common with Asian women.
Very, very common. And what I found out, every woman around me, colleagues, friends, did not know. And all we're doing is the regular mammograms, not asking the question when you get the call after you get a mammogram, because they usually call, oh, everything's fine.
Yes.
See you next year.
Yes, yes.
Please ask,
Yes.
do I have dense breast tissue? What if I did not say yes
To
that
that
day?
ultrasound.
That day. And if I said no, I would be a ticking time bomb. It would be a different story. So it was really the grace of God that I went to a different doctor, that I said yes to that ultrasound and got that screening.
So now they tell you, by the way, you have cancer, right? What are you thinking at this point? You have no you have no family history.
None.
What do you do next?
The first thing is prayer. Even before meeting with doctors, I got anointed. And then we go. And it was, you're overwhelmed. You have a family, 2 young kids. And I told my husband, Guy, I said, let's not tell them anything yet because I want all the information.
First.
I want all the information. And the best thing that my husband said when I told him was, don't worry about the house. Don't worry about the family. Don't worry about the kids. I got them. And that gave me license to just focus on me.
Yourself.
Because as a mom, a wife, you worry about everyone.
And everything, yeah.
So to be able to know he's got this, it's a blessing. So I made sure, and I wanted to do all the appointments by myself. I didn't take him. I didn't, because he has to maneuver the family.
Yeah. I'm going to go back a little bit. You said the first thing you did was prayer. Can I ask, if it's not too much to ask, what were the first words that came out of that prayer right after your diagnosis?
I trust you. I trust you. And
Did you ask why?
yeah, and everybody was asking why. Because I was the healthy one.
You were. As you were at the time, and still now, the most health conscious person I knew. You know, you took every precaution, not just for you, but for your whole family. I remember our kids were babies at the same time, right? Our kids grew up together, and you were making organic food for your kids before organic was a thing, you know?
Yes.
And so I can imagine just how bewildered and confused, because that's what we're told. If you eat healthy, all of these diseases will stay away.
Yes. And because of that, there was also shame.
Oh, tell me more.
Because I'm not supposed to get it. And I was embarrassed that I didn't do enough.
You were blaming yourself, even though you did everything right.
Yeah. And so there was a time where I was mad at my body.
Oh. It betrayed you? Is that
Why did it betray
feeling?
me? So there was a lot of moments where the why, I was wrestling with it because I had no answer. I had no family history.
Just kind of came out of nowhere.
It just came out of nowhere. And I couldn't tell people why.
Yeah.
They wanted to know why. Because it scared them.
Because it's like, if you, who is so health conscious, can get it, me, who's not even nearly as health conscious, what are my chances?
It scared them. So there was a lot of wrestling with the why. Then I got to a certain point where I said, why not?
How long did that take for you to get there?
It took a while because, of course, you have to feel all the feels. You have to go
Processing.
through all the process, the emotional process, and you're trying to be strong for your family as
Yeah.
well. And remember, we're in the sandwich generation.
Yes.
So you're managing how to tell your kids, but you're also managing your parents.
Your aging parents.
Your
Yeah.
aging parents.
Yeah.
And no parent would want to see their child go through this. And so when we told our parents, both sets of parents, my in-laws and my parents, we got them for dinner. After dinner, I took out a whiteboard.
Okay.
Took out a whiteboard.
This is so Ez. Everything is so organized and so planned out. Okay.
And
So you did a presentation.
I did a presentation. And Ella, who was 11 or 12 at that time, helped me with the presentation.
Why was that so important for you?
Because I knew that emotion was going to overwhelm them,
Yeah.
the worry and all of that. So I wanted to equip them with information. And the first thing is, I got this. Do not worry. And I know that's easier said than done.
This is how many months into your diagnosis?
Probably a month.
You hadn't had surgery or anything yet,
Not
no
yet.
treatment yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
And so it was one of those things where, okay, we're preparing. And I'm thinking, okay, I'll schedule my double mastectomy. And that's what I decided, double mastectomy in the summer, right after school is out, so that it's not disruptive. I got a scolding from the doctor. And she was like, this is not a vacation you schedule. This is your life.
That's a good point.
And I told you earlier that I would go to my appointments every time by myself.
By yourself.
And she was like, I want to meet your husband. And I'm like, why? It's, it's inconvenient. No. I want to trust that after your surgery, I can hand you off to somebody who will take care of you. Because she said, I have met many husbands who are dismissive, who are in denial, and I want to
Prevent that.
prevent that for you. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So this doctor in El Camino Hospital was really looking at me as a person, a woman, a wife, a mother.
Yeah.
Because she was saying, the first appointment, she asked me, do you leave the dishes in the sink?
Wow.
And I'm like, this
What's
is
that
a
have to do with
doctor,
cancer? Yeah.
And I said, no, of course not. And she said, you have to start. And that really made an impact. And
Because it's letting go of not trying to control everything and just focusing on yourself. Type of thing.
exactly. And
So now you've gotten the diagnosis, you've informed your family, you've gotten as much information as you can, trying to information before emotion. I think that's so good. What did the treatments look like, and because I know it wasn't just, surgery and you're good. I know
Yeah.
it wasn't like that for
yeah,
you.
but I thought it would be.
Did they tell when they told you, okay, we found cancer cells, do they tell you stage or anything like that?
I wanted to touch on that, stages. The stage part where you categorize cancer, it's very misleading. And so for the patient, we don't like the unknowns.
Yes.
We want to be able to, understand this and control this. And so, of course, you're always asking for the stage. And they avoided saying it. Because there was so much unknowns. They didn't go in yet. They didn't do all the biopsies and stuff after the surgery. And the other thing is, for people around, saying the stage is also misleading, because if it's in the early stages, it gets dismissed.
Yeah.
But cancer is cancer, and it sucks all the
Yes,
way,
yes.
whatever stage.
Yes. That's a
Right?
really good point.
And
Cancer is cancer.
cancer is cancer. And the treatments, I thought, was I'm going to have a double mastectomy, I'm going to have reconstructive surgery, and I'm going to be back at work in 3 weeks.
Back at the gym.
Back at the gym. And I sent that email to my colleagues.
Before we continue with Ezra's story, I want to ask you something. If this season of making changes has moved you in any way, if it has inspired you to be more prayerful, to embrace change, or even go after your dreams, leave us a comment on Spotify or a review on Apple Podcasts or message us on Instagram. We want to hear from you. Your stories and insights help shape the show and remind us all that we're not alone in our journeys. Now, back to Ezra's story.
So I sent that email. Looking back, I was arrogant. I was arrogant. I thought, double mastectomy, done. I got this. You know. Oh, how I was wrong.
You were humbled.
Oh, to my knees.
Wow.
To my knees. Double mastectomy, reconstructive surgery. Then I get a call. I'm still recovering. We have to go back in. 2 weeks later.
Because?
Positive margins. They found more. See, with cancer, we think it's a tumor, right?
Yeah.
Like there's a lump.
And once you remove it,
yes,
it's
that's
gone.
it.
Yeah.
They said my cancer was you opened up the breast tissue. It's as if you pulled sugar or salt all over it. So it's
And
a
that's why
constellation.
it's kind of spread. It wasn't like
spread. And so they couldn't really, they were excavating in the dark. So surgery number 2 after 2 weeks. And then I'm like, okay, I hope they got everything. Nope. Surgery number 3, 2 weeks later.
Wow.
So I had 3 surgeries within a span of 6 weeks, right?
And so at this point, spiritually, where were you?
Once I learned or felt that I was going to have this diagnosis, anointing of oil, and every day since I was getting anointed, every day. And during surgery, I had a couple, deacon and deaconess, who I never met, and because it was in El Camino, who would be closest there, Mountain View locale.
They came.
They came. They came each time.
And you didn't even know them. Why is that? Like, I'm getting, I don't know who they are either, but I'm looking at you and it's so emotional. Why? Why was that so special for you?
You know, the generosity of deacons and deaconesses to be there at the most vulnerable time. Not just for you, but your family.
Yeah.
It's a gift. It's a gift. And they were there every time. They never hesitated one bit. And it was really special. And so as a journalist, first surgery, right? I wanted to document it because I was getting so emotional and I wanted to step outside of myself and look in. I saw my family, so I asked a photographer to capture these moments. And
This time in your life?
this time in my life, and I had, it was one way for me to find control. And looking at those pictures with the deacon and deaconess, Brother Josh and Sister Sarah Gutierrez, it touches me so. And for my kids
To see it.
they were emotional. And then here's Ella trying to make balloons out of those gloves, you know? guy trying to make things light.
You hadn't met Josh and Sarah until you had asked for anointing. What does that say about not just the generosity, but the love for the brotherhood in the church? That doesn't matter if I know you, if we've ever met. Like, what did that say to you?
It speaks volumes that here's somebody who has no idea who you are, what you're going through, who your family is. And, you know, friends, family, they tell you something vulnerable, but you can't find the words. But in prayer, it's perfect. Perfect words. They said this perfect things. And they didn't know me. And the compassion and empathy that they showed was amazing.
Yeah.
And they were younger than us.
Now you're surgery number 3.
Yeah, surgery number
And
3.
how did that go?
So surgery number 3, finally, they're like, okay, I think we got everything. I think we got everything. And I said, okay. But remember, I have reconstruction. So with reconstruction, you have this expander. It's like an implant. And because they took so much tissue out, my skin was dying on my chest. I had a hole right on my chest, and I could see my expander.
Oh.
And I'm like, I feel like the Terminator right now. Mess with me.
Just try.
Just try. And so
like you could see a hole in your body.
I could see a hole in my body. And I'm like, the body is amazing.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, this is interesting.
Yeah.
So the plastic surgeon had to fix it. Surgery number 4.
Oh.
But I had radiation waiting for me.
You know, the thing is, I remember when you were going through this, you never lost your hair. So you never went through chemo.
Right.
Just
Right.
radiation.
Just radiation. So fortunately, it didn't spread to my lymph nodes.
Yeah.
So it was everything was local.
Good.
So though they got everything, they still felt that there might be some. Because remember, it's like little specks.
So radiation is when it's
Local.
kind of concentrated in one area.
Yes.
Chemotherapy is when it's already
Systematic.
got it. Okay.
Yeah. So with radiation, they wanted to start. And they can't radiate on skin like that.
Because it was dying.
It was dying.
And the dying is because
Necrosis. Because there was no blood
flow anymore.
Right? Because they took too much.
Yeah.
So they fixed that. That's surgery number 4. Then a few months later, maybe 2 months later, happened again. And that's when I decided, okay, let's take out the right one. I'll be, flat on
You mean
right.
the expander?
The expander.
Okay.
Let's take it out so that we could start radiation.
At this time, are you still working? Are you
Oh,
on
yeah.
disability?
So after my 3rd surgery, within 6 weeks, I went back to work because I saw my kids looking at me watching Friends on the couch, and I could see the worry.
Dazed? You were just dazed?
I was dazed, and I could see the worry on their face. And so I wanted to make sure that they felt secure that I'm okay.
You're okay.
So
and that
one
life
way-
was normal and any kind of normalcy.
Exactly. And one way to do that was for me to go back to work. God blessed me with a wonderful team and a manager at that time who went through cancer.
Oh.
And he was so amazing and said, use work as a distraction, not as pressure. And I have to say, it was one of my most productive times.
Wow.
Because we have a lot of energy.
Yes.
And I
gotta put
couldn't
it somewhere.
exercise, I couldn't. So I needed to do something, and that's what I did. And I was going to work with drains coming out. So drains are tubes coming from your rib cage where excess blood from the surgeries.
Yeah.
And I would try to hide it, figure out my wardrobe, what I'm wearing, and went to work. And during radiation, I would go to work, go get radiated because it's only like maybe 5 minutes, and then go back to work. And the nurses were so great there. The nurses were so great because they would always notice my shoes. Because you would be laid on the table.
Right.
So I would always try to make them smile and have fabulous shoes. You know, you're vulnerable. Okay, you radiate me. And we're like, oh, look at your boots and look at your sandals. I'm like, I know, thank you. You have to find humor in these things.
Right. How did you go from point A of, I don't know if depression is the word, but really deep sadness to now you're just joking around? How'd you make that change?
Yeah. It was because of those surgeries, those follow-ups. The doctor told me, you know, you have had surgeries within the last 6 weeks. We've never done this.
To anyone?
To anyone.
Because
like
it was
back to back.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And that's when I said, me taking care of my body paid off. Because I was able to recover from every surgery positive.
So if you weren't in a good health condition, they wouldn't have been able to do back-to-back. Got it. Wow. So it paid off.
It paid off. That is where I appreciated
Your body.
my body. Because it was able to recover.
So, you know, you're getting anointed every day. You're, you know, obviously, like in your prayers, what were you asking God for? Obviously healing. But were there any specific requests that you had during this period of time?
It was just to get through it in the best way possible. And it was in a way that I knew this moment in time is the biggest lesson I could ever teach my children. And it's what I do, my behaviors would be more powerful than any advice, any words I could say.
Very true. It's the action that they're going to remember.
It's how I show up. And so from the time I got the diagnosis, we had family prayers, but it was every day now, every day. And we requested the kids to pray as well, so that we can hear them. What are they thinking? And so it definitely made us closer. And it was amazing to see them go through the evolution. And to this day, 8 years later, we still have family prayer together every day. It's never stopped. And so that definitely was something like, oh, this is nice to be able to do this. That a crisis does make you better.
Yes. Stronger,
you know, with the humor and all of that. Of course, you have so much anxiety about it.
Yeah.
And here are my friends coming together and say, hey, let's celebrate this. And it is a celebration because it has done its part.
Yeah.
It served its purpose.
Yeah. One of my favorite verses is Romans 8:28, for those who love God, everything works for the good. When you look back and see how painful the beginning of your journey was, and as you're talking about how it's helped your family not only become closer to one another, but to closer to God. Having lived it, what can you say about how experiences like this really is for the good?
It's hard to see it when you're in it.
Yeah.
And of course, as time has gone by, I have told the kids, I've told my family that it's one of the biggest blessings. And I do not dismiss what people are going through when they are in it. Yes, it is hard. Yes, it is challenging, and it will bring you down to your knees to really go to dark places. But that's when you see the light. It's brighter when it's dark.
Expound on that. How is it brighter when it's dark?
The anointing of oil every day was a hug from God. It was hope. It was my faith. And it's a beautiful thing to be able to feel that in spite of surgeries 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in spite of. And so, because if I had it easy, and during this time, there were so many people calling me and asking me for advice, and they're going through it. And they had an easier path. And one day, Jules saw me see the person who I was advising, and within 3 weeks, they were fine. And Jules asked me, Jules is my son, Jules asked me, "Are you jealous?"
Oh.
And I was like, yes. Yes. But that's okay. I'm happy for her. I'm happy for her. We have a different path. And we will make the most out of this. And so there's so much in this that we can learn and really evolve as people, as a son, mother, daughter, husband. So I accept it. I accept it.
How long did it take for you to get to that acceptance? Because, our faith also tells us when we pray and you've asked, you should believe that you've received it, right?
Yeah.
So how did you get to that place of acceptance? Because I'm sure it wasn't overnight.
No, it wasn't overnight. But again, it was because I felt in my body strong. Even though I couldn't move, I knew that I can get through this. There was this sense of confidence that he's not going to let me go.
Well, you did tell him you trusted him.
Yes. So I had to believe that. I had to have my kids believe that. And what's interesting is I've never told my parents all about the 6 surgeries.
I thought you said 5. Now it's 6.
Yeah.
It's actually 6.
It's actually 6.
Yeah.
Because remember, I had 1 implant on the left, flat on the right. I had to make a decision. What is this decision is, the decision would be, should I go for reconstruction again, even though it's failed, or should I just go flat? And I had to really wrestle with that.
Yeah.
So a lot of people underestimate the impact that a surgery, a bilateral mastectomy, double mastectomy, like a lumpectomy, it deforms you. A lot of women do not look at themselves
The same.
in the mirror, let alone their spouse,
Yes.
because you are deformed. The symbol of femininity
It's gone.
is gone, is gone. So it is very challenging as a woman. Okay, what am I going to do? And this is when I went into bodybuilding. I don't know if you want to talk
Yes,
about
we
that.
do. We'll touch on that. We'll touch on that. But I'm going to go back to the complications thing, because as you were talking, and you said that you met someone, and well, her journey was 3 weeks and she was good. When Jason was going through his journey with heart transplantation, he also had so many surgeries, and the doctors would say, you're like, most people don't have it this difficult, right? Yeah. And you do start to wonder, because we're human, like, yeah, but I'm praying, I'm doing all the things right. But in hindsight, like when he and I look back at it, right, the longer the process of healing, the deeper your relationship with God becomes, actually, because you have to keep talking to him more. Was that the same for you?
Yeah, I totally agree. It's almost as if it's the roots.
Yeah.
And the roots are getting deeper into the soil. And once the roots are really deep in there, the tree is sturdy. Yeah. It is sturdy.
No amount of hurricane or storms is going to knock it down.
No. And so all of those challenges, that's the sun, that's the fertilizer, that's the water, to really grow those roots in your heart, in your soul, to be able to okay.
What did you learn about God in this whole process?
So I think it was a way for God to, I'm more than just a thought, I'm really here.
Oh.
I'm really here. And it's every lesson that you've heard throughout your life, you're living it. And so all you got to do is follow.
Would you say that, because you said all the lessons, that we hear, everything we hear in worship service, right? Like to trust God, God's there for us, use prayer. It's not really until we go through stuff like this that you're like, oh, all the toolboxes that we've learned all our lives, we now get to use each tool.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so interesting when you go to worship service and you're going through something and all of a sudden you hear a lesson, oh, that's for me. How many times have we all
heard this verse
that?
And then but it hits different. Yeah.
It hits. It's like, oh, that lesson was for me.
Yeah. I asked you what you learned about God, but what did you learn about yourself, this whole thing?
That I'm resilient and resourceful. I learned patience, for sure, because I'm an impatient person.
What about control?
Oh, for sure.
What does that feel like to have all your life doing the right things, having control over your body because you're working out, having control of what you're eating, and then literally overnight realizing, ooh, I have none.
Yeah, it's a big joke.
Yeah.
It's a big joke. And
which part is a big joke?
That you have control. You are just simply a servant, a vessel for his message. And so I take that to heart, that my suffering was not going to go to waste. That all of this for nothing? No, that can't be. It shouldn't be. And so I openly talk about how I healed, because people were like, at work, why are you here? You're going through radiation. Because the way they were feeling when they went through radiation, they were tired. They couldn't go to work. They took time off. I did not feel that. It was him. I didn't feel any symptoms of radiation.
Wow. You had no side effects from
I had no side effects.
Wow.
And so I knew that's him.
The strength that you had and energy.
Right. That's not me. it was like, yeah, they're like, you don't feel tired?
You were so quick to know that's not me. Why is it so important to give credit where credit is due in moments like that?
Oh, because you will get humbled over and over again. And I don't want to be scolded again.
You're like, I want to make sure he knows that this is all him.
It's all him. Praises unto him.
Yeah.
Only.
Yeah.
Only.
Yeah.
And he puts people, things, and situations for me to flourish, for me to thrive.
Yeah.
And it's for me to acknowledge that and to take. And without that awareness, it's all for nothing.
And I think you said it earlier in our interview. You said, thank God that I took the ultrasound test and that it was just really by the grace of God. So you really, from the beginning, from the get-go of your journey, he was with you already. Already. So now, while you're healing in your prayers, there are those that, when they're going through something, they're like, God, please just help me get through this, and this is what I'm going to do. We start to have these conversations with God. What was it that you had told God in your years of going through all of this? What would your testimony be?
During the whole time, I wasn't negotiating. I was just accepting and going through it. I was living each day and be present each time. And there was a moment where, again, I got anointed for more than a year. Every day. I would seek out the deaconesses. I had a roster of maybe 6. Even when I'm out of town, I sought them out. It was in Seattle. And it was dark. They had their Bible study. It was, I think, 9:30 in the evening. And I was desperate to find a deaconess. And there was one. And she was like, okay.
And you didn't even know her?
I didn't even know her. And it was just amazing to be able to get to her. And so every day when I would plan things, anointing of oil was the priority.
On your to-do list.
On my to-do list before anything else. So I would either reach out to my 5 rosters of deaconesses who would be available that day, where I could drive to, or sometimes they had to come to the house.
Do you want to give them a shout out? Who were the 5 deaconesses that for over a year?
Yes. So from Fremont, it would be Sister Christine. Let's see, Sister Ruby. And then Union City would be Sister Espy. Oh, also from Fremont, Sister Nemia, Sister Anita. And the others also who were, anointing during worship service or after worship service. After worship service. So I felt like, it's embarrassing. I'm bugging them all the time.
Yeah.
But never, ever did they, feel like it was an inconvenience.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So during this whole time, there was a moment, and no one asked me to be a deaconess. It's never come up for me to be a deaconess. And then God spoke to me. And I was like, and he spoke to me so loudly.
How did you hear that? How did you hear the message?
It was a feeling. It was a feeling that I need to pay this forward. To be the recipient of all of this compassion, I need to pay it forward. I would like to be able to be there for folks, for sisters, and the way they have been for me. And it's a privilege. It's an honor. And I was performing in the midst of all the surgeries, surgeries, I believe, 4 and 5.
You know, as most people could have been like, you know what, yeah, no, I can be a deaconess, but I'm going to wait until this is all done. I'm going to wait till my treatments are over. I'm going to wait till I'm fully healed. But you did not.
Couldn't. Again, that energy, I want to do something because he gave me the strength to power through. So why not?
Do you remember the first sister that you anointed?
Yeah, I do. And it was emotional because here I am now able to. And you're only a tool. And you want to be a worthy tool, an worthy instrument to do this. And so if I am, thank you. Thank you. So it's a gift. It's definitely a gift. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to read you a post that you had posted on social media, and I think this was a while ago. You said, "The journey has taught me about loss of control." We're talking about control. "I foolishly thought that I would be done with breast cancer and the treatment in 1 month and have symmetrical breasts by the end of it. I thought I could control this disease like all the other aspects of my life, but it knocked me sideways and upside down. It instead thrusted me into the unknown where I had no option but to relinquish control and trust that God had bigger plans. Letting go of control is easier said than done, so instead I had to ignite my curiosity. I had to continue to keep questioning, to keep finding something new that will make for a positive change."
Did I really write that?
You did.
That sounds really good.
But I don't know if this was before or after you became a deaconess, but you stood by your word. You didn't just make a positive change. This is a lifelong change for you. What advice would you have for women who were you, who were you 7, 8 years ago? What would your advice be for them?
There's several aspects to that. As a patient, if you are receiving the diagnosis, the first thing is, pray. Get that anointing. Believe in that. It is the only thing that will get you through. And then look to your family. And this is interesting because you have to create your team. You have your team of doctors that you have to know that God chose them for you. Then you surround yourself with people who will help you heal. And that is critical because this information, it's a privilege, it's not a right. And you want people who will help you heal mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. So
The energy.
Because a lot of times us patients, when we're talking to somebody else, we're managing your emotions.
Say that one more time.
Us patients, when we're talking and sharing with you, friends, family, what ends up happening is we're managing your emotions.
You're wanting to make sure that they don't feel bad, awkward, or
Why? We're the ones going through it.
That's a good point.
And then all of a sudden you're going to, the person on the other side is saying, "So what stage?" "Oh, it's just stage 0, you'll be fine." Or stage 2, "Oh, yeah, my friend, my friend, the one I know from 2 years ago.
This is what they did.
They did this, they did that." Please don't. Right? So it's really important for you to even at a certain point isolate yourself because that's why you have God.
He's the only one that
He's
needs
the
to
only
know.
one. Really, he's the only one. So there's that. And you have to find ways to be physically strong because it's all connected. The emotional, the mental, the spiritual, physical, it's all connected. But if you can start moving, because movement is medicine.
Yes.
So it will slowly build your emotional resilience, your mental resilience, and have grace with yourself. Do not blame yourself. I think the coulda, shoulda, woulda, it plays in your mind. I should have done this, I should have done that. And God has put you there for a purpose. For those around the patient, it's important to listen.
I was going to the conversation I mentioned in the beginning of our interview that I never forgot. I remember we were standing in the function hall in Fremont, like in between. I was like, how are you, and I started talking. And then you said something that was so profound. You said, when people ask, how are you? You really should be ready for their answer, right? Because you're going to expect, I'm fine, because that's what we're always expected to say, right? So what is the right things, if there's any, I don't know if there's any right thing to say, but what would be your advice on the words to say to a loved one, a friend who is in the middle of their cancer journey?
Yeah. If there is nothing, you're grappling for words.
Yes.
Offer a prayer. You can't go wrong with a prayer. You can't. That's one. Second, don't say things like, it's going to be okay. Because you don't know. It's going to be okay for you. You want to believe that.
Because you want to feel better.
You want to feel better. But those things, it becomes dismissive. Or saying, especially for breast cancer patients, they're only breasts.
Oh, have people said that to you?
Oh, yes. And I'm like, maybe because you have them and I don't.
Yeah. You still have yours. Yeah.
You still have yours. And so these are things that really trigger, and that's why it's such a burden to handle other people's opinions. And it's very sacred to really protect yourself. And the best things that some friends have done is leave food at the front door, ring the doorbell, and text me.
Yeah.
There's food. I was like, what? There's flowers. What? That is amazing. Or even take my kids out.
Yeah.
Don't ask, what can I do for you?
That was my next question is, when people say that, right? The burden is on you again.
Yes.
So don't say, what can I do? Just do.
Just do. Let me take your kids out to a movie. What's the best one is my cousin-in-law. I asked him to take Guy to the gym in the mornings. Because, of course, he's going through things. To have control of your household during this time is amazing. My group at work, they got me like food service.
So you didn't have to cook?
Didn't have to cook.
Yeah.
It's like the people who stepped up like that, that's where I was learning, okay, this is how you support.
Yeah.
It's not just empty words.
Yeah.
Right? And sometimes just a hug. Just a hug. It means a lot. You're seen.
Yeah.
You're seen. Not, oh, you're going to be fine. You're so strong. Another person said to me, you made cancer look easy.
Oh, how'd you take that?
I was like, oh, I guess my makeup and my wow, that was not my purpose.
But also, I think I mean, on the flip side, it could give someone hope, meaning, you know, if they were to get it, God forbid, right? They're going to be able to say, you know, well, when Ez went through it, she got through it really strongly, and she got through it with grace. And I know that's possible. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now it's been years. How many years has it been? 7, 8?
8.
So when were you basically, when did they say you were in remission?
Yeah. That's a tricky word.
Is it?
It's a tricky
Tell me
word.
more.
Because remission, you're cancer-free, yet I'm taking a chemo pill every day for the next 10 years. I'm year 8, so I have 2 more years. And I'm still getting checked aggressively because the pill that I'm taking can cause uterine cancer. So we have to check every 6 months for that too.
Do you have fears of it coming back?
Oh, yes, there are fears, but I also want to live my life.
Yeah. And not live in paranoia.
No. And knowing that God has you and he will protect you, and he has done so a millionfold, the worry dissipates. It disappears because there's that comfort.
Yeah.
There is that comfort. And we still do our family prayers every night. I do get anointed with oil.
You still get anointed to this day.
Yeah, but not every day.
Yeah.
Um,
Why do you feel the need? I mean, you know, people could be like, yeah, Ez, but you're, you know, you're good now.
yeah. But when there's that worry that creeps up, you want that hug. You want that assurance that I'm still listening. I'm still listening. It's a connection. It's a communication. And I haven't forgotten him. So that's why.
When you look back, you said, you know, seeing how God has allowed you to get through it, and there's a great track record, right? In your book, in your life. How do you deal with challenges now?
I always say that he dreams bigger than you. And when he presents an opportunity or a challenge, I know it's an opportunity. There's opportunity in chaos.
I noticed you didn't say problem.
Yeah, it's not a problem. Because one, I'm a solution seeker. I don't dwell on the problem. I find the solution in a way that I am comfortable in. And so, you know, things like taking pictures and being on an exhibit, doing the bodybuilding. I mean, those things, if I did it today, I honestly don't know why I didn't.
Really?
I really don't.
Well, you kind of mentioned earlier you wanted some kind of control because you couldn't control anything else.
Right. But it was a conversation in the backstage. It was a conversation for people watching.
Let's talk about the kids for a little bit. You know, they're now young adults, your kids, right? What do you think this experience, how has it changed them spiritually? And how are you hoping that what they went through is that they're going to use those tools for when it's their turn to have a challenge in life?
I am hopeful that witnessing firsthand how you show up when challenges come their way, that their first thing that they would go to is prayer. And if my roots really, you know, is connected to that soil of spirituality and God, it grew with them too. And I could only hope. And I could see when they're challenged, they do pray. Ella would be like, Ella's my daughter, she's 19, and she would be like, you know, I prayed for 100 in organic chemistry, and I actually got it. And I was like, you know, small or big.
Yes.
Does not.
It's still a prayer answered.
It's still a prayer. And for her to witness, for Jules to witness miracles in their own lives, their prayers being answered. It's just a testament
Yeah.
that, yes, prayer is powerful.
Yeah.
And so
we all have access to
we
it.
all have access to it. And so it's truly a gift. And I, going back and looking back, it is a gift. And I reiterate with them, this has been a gift.
Yeah.
I don't want you all to think that this is a terrible time,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's not.
You say it's a gift, so you don't regret that you went through it, even despite how painful it was.
No. Made my life interesting. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It added more pages to my life of what I could talk about. And to be able to have a voice, a platform to be able to speak about it, to educate and help others to get that additional screening, early detection.
What would you say, having gone through what you've gone through, why do we need these types of challenges in life?
We need this, we need the sharp edges in order for God to round them out. And we are rounded in a way and molded in a way, hopefully, that is pleasing to Him. It not only deepens your relationship with God, but it deepens your relationship with your spouse, your children, with your parents.
How has this whole experience changed you?
From the inside out, really. My life has been, ever since I was young, I was very aware of being iglesia, being prayerful, seeing my parents. But to actually go through a challenge that I hope I went through with grace, I could only hope that God is proud of me, that I am living His purpose, living His will, not mine, not mine. And I want to be able to do that with my head held up high. I've changed in a way that being a servant means so much. Being a deaconess, each time I put on that white uniform, it means a lot. It means it's not just doing your duty. It's an opportunity to show up for Him the way He has been there all my life. There will be fears, there will be worry, but somebody is there, God is there, and He has, we've all heard it, He has a plan for you, and when you actually live it in the midst of trials and tribulations, you're so close to Him. You feel Him.
It's nothing like it.
It's nothing like it.
So we're going to end our interview with rapid fire questions, okay? What is your favorite organic meal?
Oh, organic meal. Let's see. Grass-fed beef with steamed organic broccoli and rice.
You got to have the rice.
You have to have the rice.
Got to have the rice. I know you guys travel a lot. What is a favorite congregation you visited?
There's two. One in Toyama, which is a little locale where when we attended, we couldn't find it. It was in the dark, and then we were looking for it. There was no sign, no nothing, and all of a sudden the organ played. And we knew the choir is practicing. Let's go towards that sound. And it was such a humble, beautiful locale. I believe it was a group worship service.
This is in Japan.
In Japan, in Toyama, Japan. It's in the outskirts, because in Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, it's established, right? But Toyama, it was in a residence. It was just amazing. And you could feel the brethren's love of, you're here, you're visiting
yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Well, and another was in Nice,
France.
in France, where their prayer was in Tagalog, French, and English. So we didn't know whether to say oui, opo,
Yes, Father.
yes, Father. And the eloquence of the minister to go from one language to another, but still feel the power of that prayer was amazing. So those were very memorable.
And anywhere you go, it's like, it's just family, right? Anywhere you go, even though they're strangers. In one sentence, what is the best advice for someone who may have just been diagnosed with cancer?
Take a pause, breathe, and pray. That's the first thing. Even if you have not received the diagnosis yet, that's the first thing you should do. Because you are filled with anxiety, waiting for that phone call of what the results might be. Pray. Pray. And I go back to my first prayer, I trust you. You just have to trust.
That would be the best second sentence, is to just say, I trust you. And lastly, change is, finish that sentence. Change is?
Change is an opportunity. It is an opportunity to meet yourself in that moment, to be able to elevate every aspect of your life. Change is something I welcome now. I don't want to get stale. I don't want to get complacent or stagnant. I want to be better, and change can only make that possible. Whether it be good change or challenging change, it's something that can be an opportunity to bring yourself closer to God.
Well, we've known each other for decades, but I feel like just sitting down with you now, I feel like I just got to know a whole different Ez.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm so glad that you agreed to sit down with us, because I think a lot of the things you talked about is such important educational factors. I just think that you touched on so many things that people aren't talking about. And you're going to change so many people's lives around the world that's going to watch this. And I won't be surprised if there's going to be an uptick on deaconesses. on sisters wanting to be deaconesses because they were inspired by your story.
I hope so. And the deaconess uniform is nice and flattering. So,
Well, that's because you rock it. No. You rock it really well. But no, really, in all honesty, thank you so much. And God bless you.
Thank you.
And I just know that the best is yet to come for you.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity, the platform, and just to be able to have anybody remember anything from this podcast is really fight for your health.
Yeah.
Because early detection is key. Information is power. So, equip yourself with that.
Well, you've educated us and you've made us cry all at once. Those are the best kind.
Thank you.
Ez started her journey believing she could control everything. But after her cancer diagnosis, she realized her power wasn't her ability to plan every detail in her life. It was surrender. Surrender to God's will. Surrender to God's plans. If you're struggling to control something today, remember Ez's words. Change is an opportunity. So let go and surrender to the change God has for you. And if you're a woman listening to this or know someone who needs to hear this, please take action on what Ez learned the hard way. Fight for your health. Be your best advocate. Thanks for listening, and may your change uplift you.